Hello, hello, hello. Time for another game of Spider and Old Scooter. The iMac version of Spider Solitaire. And me, Old Scooter. This twerp over here. I'll call this the Science News edition. It's a windy day here in New Mexico, and you can probably hear it maybe in the background occasionally. Sounds like it's going to blow the roof off. But enough of that. I'll be chit-chatting about science stuff as we go, but going involves playing this game. Hello. There we go. If you're new to the game and came here to find out how to play the game, no problem. You'll walk away a master of the game. You put red on red and black on black and so forth. That assumes you have some that work. See, I've got 2 black 2s and 1 red 3. Either of these will go there, and I call that crossing the line plays. And they're a little expensive in terms of gameplay. Well, that one wasn't, because I got what I call a kickback. That was a kickback. That's nice. Love kickbacks. So now I can try that other 2, and nothing much comes of that. Now, the aggressive approach would be to leave it there because you uncovered a card of the thin blue line. You have to uncover all these cards eventually to win, so that may be the way to go. This being here blocks the 3. Since I don't want the 3 right now, and who knows, I can use the 8 to see what's under it. Get a 6. Now then I'm getting kind of, see, here's a natural I overlooked. I overlooked before. Don't sing, Scooter. Okay. But I can keep playing these. When is it? Why don't you pick up? Had my finger on the wrong place on the touchpad. A cardinal sin in Apple Land. Gave me a 4, which we'll play. We'll do a natural play. Now, see, if I didn't have this 3 blocked, I could put it down there. So that's what I mean by an expensive move. You sacrifice something, but out of that sacrifice came several moves from that pile over there. So far so good. I'll even stick with the old gambling technique here. That gives me a card I can play. And oops, what are you doing? I can take that back. That was just a errant finger. There's one move I can't take back. If I do it, I will not only show you how it works, I will sing a stupid little song, which theoretically inhibits me from making that stupid mistake, but I haven't noticed any improvement in my mistake-making much. Maybe a little. I don't want to be pessimistic. Well, I got a queen and 2 kings. It doesn't really matter where it goes. At least I don't think it does. And Spider Mac. This is the proprietor of this game, and she is a vicious and very intelligent artificial intelligence. And I have lots of stories to tell about her, but I typically tell her when the computer's turned off because she takes umbrage. And man, you get an AI with some umbrage going and you've got a problem. I'm sure you've read or seen or heard about all the stuff, all the smart guys like Elon Musk who are saying artificial intelligence is a real threat and it's going to get us one of these days. In my funky little science fiction book, I use artificial intelligence a bunch, not having any natural intelligence to use. Here's an ace for that, too. It does slow me down a bit to talk and chatter like I do here, but I hope you'll forgive me. These are sort of natural moves that I didn't get by being smart. They just showed up. The trick is when one shows up that you have to do something smart with, to be ready to move like a bandit. I've said that all my life. I'm not sure that bandits are actually faster than the rest of us. Now that tied up a 4-3-2 with an 8 that already had it tied up. Gave me a king. I already had a king. I'm going to stay with it anyway. And I know this may not make any sense, but it's because of the influence of my sister, Mandy, who's always had a lot of influence over me. No, you don't want to do that. That would be redundant. Now then, I've got a 7 to ace string. I call stacks, sequential lines like that, strings when there's an ace on the bottom. If they are aceless, I just call them stacks. Now, this gives me a hole, which is kind of the wild card, and I love them holes. So I see a move here on how to use the hole. Wasn't that swell? I could have done it without. But that seems like, well, wait, I'll show you. I'll take it all back. And it didn't cost me a penny down here in the penny meter. And lets me try other things. You'd think, well, that should give you a huge advantage. And you could win more often than you do. Should you watch this madness occasionally, you'll note I don't win all that often. Not nearly often enough, Spider. Spider Mac is her nickname. Her real name is Spider McGillicuddy. It's purely coincidence that McGillicuddy's on a Mac. I guess this was the best to do, so that's what I'll do. Always going for the best. I'll leave other people with the rest. My touchpad skills come and go. But that's so with all of us. Old F's. I say an F instead of the art word because no cussing on this channel. No obscenities, no nasties. That's my vow. I've made a bunch of vows about this. Sure you're wowed by my vows. I don't see any more moves, however. That in itself is not the final judgment, as I do miss moves with some regularity. Is this what I really want to do? Yeah, I think it is, because I can play this, and watch out, boys and girls. Boom! A score. This is a score up here. Got it all the way. A king string makes a score. King all the way down to an ace. And now I'm $16 ahead. It cost $500 to play the game in Scooter World here. The house margin is $50, so you have to get $5.50 to break even. Since I'm at $5.66, I'm $16 to the good. And I have 2 deals left. I've punched 1 hole in the thin blue line. No, 2 holes. Don't want to insult a hole by not mentioning it. What happened there? I gotta put the C. Oh, darn it. Alright, well, I'll take a compensatory move just to make myself feel better. I could bring this down here. Sort of ties up that stack, but it releases this guy, which I can move. Some days I don't think my finger has the whatever it takes to do the touchpad boogie right. So now I have this. I can stick anything in there I want to, thus the wild card characterization. Seems like the perfect time to pause and think science for a minute. Are you reading the new breed of the news agglomerators? You know, they're putting together news into packages that hopefully will be more interesting than other guys' packages. Also, if they excerpt a piece of news from a newspaper, they're betting it's the most interesting thing in that paper, and ideally something they have exclusively. Well, I read Flipboard and Medium and Blendle and 2 or 3 others. I just collected from yesterday. Flipboard's lead article was at water in the United States. All our water, our waterways, our lakes, our reservoirs and so forth, have a lot of medications in them. I guess from everybody flushing their pills. I don't know it. Somehow there are lots of molecules from lots of medications in nearly all of our water, except for the deep, sort of ancient waters in the big aquifers. And they're in danger because of fracking and overuse. They're being drawn down way faster than they fill back up. It took millions of years to fill those big aquifers, and it'll take millions of years to fill them again. But we're managing to empty them in, mere centuries. Let's see. In medium, the 7 deadliest weapons against establishment propaganda. Everybody needs to know that. And in Blendle, there's a story on the alt-rights inside the postmodern movement. Everybody's excited about the alt-right. Well, I'm going to do this and this to reward myself for a little science rap. Everybody needs a little science rap now and again. Unless apparently you live in Wyoming, that's a different story. I'll maybe get to that later. I don't see anything much to do except put something in this hole. I have no, quote, pure piles. In other words, something I can just pick up and move the whole pile. If I do this one, I'll have a 2, which I don't see an immediate use for. If I do this one, I'll have a red king. Red kings are fun, but more fun when you need them. So, it's really, I'm just going to do this and this because I felt like it. Hard to know how that gives me any great advantage, but it's as good as I can find, so I'm going to deal another card. You might have been able to find a better one. You might have been sitting there looking at a better one, saying, hey, scooter bug, why don't you do that? If I only were telepathic. The only telepathic person here is Spider Mac. She probes your mind and knows what you're going to do and then gives you a card that keeps you from doing it. I have seen it in action. It must be so. So if I took this guy up here, then I can move this ace over here, which is a very minor improvement in the state of things. Perhaps no improvement at all. Well, last deal, last card. I'm still $2 in the black, so I'm playing with abandon. Proves my attitude when I'm in the lead. Now I've got this 2 and that 2 to go there. Meanwhile, I'll put this 9 there. This 9 on that 10. This 4 on that 5. Now, if I do this, I'll have a 3. Do you see any 3 usages? That doesn't. Oh, might as well do that. No, I might not. Well, yes, I might. Do you like a decisive player? Oh, they're fun at the blackjack table. Hit me. No, don't hit me. No, don't hit me. No, no. Drive some dealers around the bend. If you've been a dealer long, you know that bend is pretty close. All right, so there's just nothing much to do. I'm committed by vow, I mentioned vows early, to play this darn thing clear to the end, so I will. I think I have. So, bless you and all of yours. You know, I don't know how to stop this silly thing. This is a new program I'm using. Maybe if I push down here, see what happens. If it stops, it's been nice seeing you.